Hello, Algebra 1 students. This is lesson 62. Our objective is how do we display data in a histogram and a stem and leaf plot. So we're going to start off with a stem and leaf plot. If you remember, a stem and leaf plot has, that's right, a stem and a leaf. So the stem is what we use is either the first number or maybe the first two, but in this case, since we have two-digit numbers, the first number is going to be the stem and the second number is going to be the leaf. And you'll kind of see how this works here. So we're going to create a table, like so, and over here we're going to say a stem, and over here we're going to write leaf. Pretty complicated so far, I know. And what we're going to do is we're now going to go through here and try to find the smallest number, and then a large number just so we can get a basic idea. The smallest number I'm seeing here is a 53. The largest looks like it's in the 80s, maybe an 87. 87. So we're going to go from the 50s up to the 80s. So that's going to be our stem. So it's going to be 5, 6, 7, and 8. And you'll kind of see how this works in just a second. So the smallest number, we said, were the 50. So I'm going to start off here, maybe I'm going to start off with green. It's 53. The 5 is already there. I'm going to write the 3 on the right. You can put a comma in between. It's kind of how the book does it, but in general there is not one. I'm going to move on to the next largest 50, which is right there. The first 5 is already right here. The next one I'm going to write over here. So that's 53 and 55. I'm looking through and I don't see any other 50s in here. So move on to 60s. There's a 66, 67, 64. I'm looking for the smallest 60 here. Alright, so it looks like a 64. So I'm going to do 64. And then I have a 66. Another 66. And a 67. Right there. Looking at 69. Alright, that's all the 60s. So now we move on to 70s. The smallest 70 I see there is a 70. 71. You kind of want to evenly space those numbers out, as you can see there. 71, 77, a 78, 75, and a 76. There's more 78s. Alright, so 75, 76, 77, and 3 78s. Okay, and then for the 80s, looks like there's an 80 right there. There's another 80 right there. So on my 80s, oh, there's another 80 up here. There's an 81. There's 2 of those. Oh, 3 of those. Here's an 82 and 82. There's 3 83s. An 84 right here. An 85. And 2 87s. And we are almost finished. The only thing we need to do now is we need to say a key. And you can pick any number in there. I'll just pick 66 for fun. I'll say 6 line 6 is equal to 66. So we can kind of interpret what that means. So a stem and leaf plot like this shows the frequency. So if someone was saying, hey, what's the average temperature, or if they're in April 2007 in New Orleans, and they want to say, what's the temperature going to be like? Most likely it's going to be in the 80s, right? Because most of those temperatures fall into the 80s. So it kind of shows frequencies of numbers. Kind of help us out here. This frequency in the 50s, there's 2. In the 60s is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the blue there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And down here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 2, 5, 8, 15. Similarly, histograms also show frequencies of numbers. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a histogram, and this is very similar to a bar graph. If you want to do a little thought bubble here, remember a bar graph would look like this, showing frequency, but the bar graph does not touch each other. They don't touch each other. On a histogram, your vertical bars will touch each other, and it's very important that your intervals here are the same. Also, in a bar graph, these could be different categories, like what's your favorite color? Blue, green, yellow. But on a histogram, we have intervals of numbers. So since we already know that our numbers go between 50 and 80, then I'm going to pick intervals that suit that. So notice, in between here would be showing the height of numbers between 50 and 60. Between here would be 60 and 70. Between here, 70 and 80. Between here, 80 and 90. And the frequency we're going to go with is just like 5, 10, 15, and 20. If we go to this previous slide, so I'm just going to write this 2, 5, 8, 15, just for our simplicity here. So the frequency here is 2, so I'm going to put a horizontal line, and I'm just estimating this to be the height of 2. In here, the height of 5 would come right up to that point. Here is 8, so that'd almost be just over halfway. And the last one is 15, so it's going to come all the way up to here. And then, depending on your histogram, some people will write the number above it like this, 2, 5, 8, and 15. That's especially helpful whenever you have like really large numbers. Like ours just vary from 0 to 5, but these are going by like 100, so from 0 to 100, 100 to 200. It'd be really hard to tell exactly what that number is at. So it's kind of helpful. The wider this range is, it's helpful to add those on there. So again, these touch each other, and these are a range, and they all have to be evenly spaced from 50 to 60, 60, 70, 70, 80 to show that. And so again, from this data, we could see that most likely the temperature is going to be between 80 and 90. Your homework is a lesson practice, all 62 and 61. So that's right, you don't have to do any in addition to those. That's it. So good luck.